We enter the home of Dr. KHFMcAwesome, a well-respected scientist in the field of interdimensional study. Recently, he adopted a very rare new pet. This is what's known as a Digimon. It exists in a realm separate from our own, a land known as the digital world. The good doctor communicates with this tiny companion through this digital device known as a Digivise. There are very few Digimon still living in our own realm. Most are cared for by special organisations dedicated to their preservation. To own one as a house pet is very unusual.
Paul did say it was mad of me to think I could raise a Digimon in my own home, but when you work in the realm of science you get used to people thinking you're a bit off the walls. I mean, I once tried to pull an incubator's anus over its head, and people said I was mad for thinking that. Cruel, even. They said I was cruel to think I could do that. But since I adopted Patamon, he seems very happy, and he's brought a lot of joy to my life. I can honestly say I can't imagine life without him now. Shall we go perform some experiments, shall we? Let's go.
Did I think it was odd for KHF to bring home a digital pet? Well, no, not really. It's far from the most insane thing he's ever done, but the fact that it didn't shock me does worry me, as it means I've been hanging around him for way too long.
Was I surprised by KHF's decision to adopt a Digimon? A little, I suppose, but then again, it sounded completely like something he'd do. I think KHF's grasp on what is and isn't real is waning at best. I don't think he quite has a grip on his sanity anymore.
You ate an entire bag of these by yourself? That's actually very impressive. I'm not even cross for you about that. That's actually blown me away. I actually want to see how you did that, so I'm going to get you another packet. That is amazing. I don't believe there's any danger to him being raised in a domestic home. I mean, he comes from a world where giant bugs fly about attacking everything in sight, so quite honestly, I think he's a lot safer here. I mean, I keep all my giant bugs locked up in the darkest basement of my lab, and he's not allowed to go in there. Is that Dwayne Johnson doing the voice of Cliff Jumper? Gosh, how much do you reckon that cost them? What? Oh yeah, probably about that, yeah. Oh my gosh, I've never heard such like I'm leaving. That's disgusting. There have been some naysayers, it's true, but again, it's nothing I haven't come across in the realm of science before. Oh, you can't raise a Digimon in a domestic home, it's cruel. Oh, you can't pull an incubator's butthole over its head, it's cruel. Oh, you can't keep a pervert locked up and perform experiments on him even though he's a plague on society, it's cruel. Oh, you can't let a chicken you've mutated with Charizard blood loose upon a forest in a school, it's cruel. So, excuse me if I come off as a little bit cruel sometimes.
If I'm completely honest, I don't think KHF should be allowed near any kind of animal. Or any kind of human, for that matter. I actually believe he's mentally unwell and should be under constant watch.
Well, you see, my pet, I've been talking it over with Emma, and we're both very concerned about your drinking issues. Yes, you have a real problem, I think, and I think it's time that you got some intervention. Now, we can take it in baby steps if you wish, but I think it is high time you dealt with some of your demons.
Should he be locked up? Probably, but if you want to try and get that guy locked up, then it's your funeral. Me? I just let him go about his business and just try and duck when things explode.
No, you know what you did. No, we do that outside. We do that outside, not in the house, we do that outside. Outside is the bathroom. You do not do it in here. Have I ever been to the digital world? Yes, once actually. It's a very lovely place. Well, when you can get past all the killer slugs and sea serpents. I needed to pick up some of the plants there for one of my experiments, and yes, it was a very lovely trip and everything ran smoothly.
He started singing and a nearby Gabumon hung itself. His singing is just that bad.
Rise and shine, my pet. It's time for a fun, science-filled day. Come on, let's go and have some fun with science. Come on. Wake up, you lousy drunk!
I'm probably not going to say anything to him. I mean, I've known ghosts with fetishes for starfish, so it's not like I'm not used to the realms of the weird. KHF's my best friend at the end of the day, and what I want is for him to be happy.
I honestly believe that if people were to live more like me, just doing whatever you wanted, regardless of whether it's logical or moral, the world would be a much more interesting place. So, adopt a Digimon as a pet, marry your DS, shout at people over the internet instead of dealing with your own personal issues. It's what nature intended for us.
In the next edition of this 32-part series, we will be observing how KHF could possibly... What's that? What do you mean we're cancelled? 0 viewer interest? It's a grown man adopting a children's toy. What's not interesting about that? Well, I hardly think this calls for that kind of language. Look, I've worked really hard on this piece, and you can't just shut me...